Hey everyone, this is Kyle from Co-op Existence, the channel where we play video games and we have deep chats. On today's deep chat, we're going to be talking about humanity and the effects of the 5-day work week. Before we get into all that, I want to remind everyone that if you've ever wanted the chance to win a brand new PlayStation 5, we are currently doing a subscriber giveaway. That's right, if you can help us get to 50,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away a brand new PlayStation 5. We're super excited to be a part of this community, and we're really excited to continue to bring you guys some awesome content. If you want more information on this giveaway, please check out the video in the description below. With all of that out of the way, let's jump into it. Grab your drinks, grab your snacks, and let's talk about humanity and the 5-day work week.
Man, how great would life be if you could, you didn't have to segment yourself. You didn't have to, okay, well now I gotta go to work, and now I gotta be a husband, and now I gotta play video games, and now I gotta, what if, life could just be complete and fulfilling, and, you could provide for yourself and sustain your lifestyle by doing the things that you love doing, and it doesn't take away from, your own personal, your family commitments, your marriage, your, when you have kids, you can integrate all of those things into one thing and call it life.
Yeah. Well, that I think that's where it's funny. Did you you remember? I don't know if you finished *Sapiens*.
Not yet.
So that's one of the core concepts of *Sapiens* is the keeping in mind that as human nature, our human nature is still pretty fresh, right? Looking at the evolutionary spectrum, we're pretty young on the chain, and to where we've evolved as a human nature or as a human species, we're not actually genetically and mentally evolutionary. We're actually not able to sustain the current lives we lead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's also why the planet's being destroyed, because we're technically not able to sustain. The planet's not able to sustain because it never grew. It didn't casually grow and evolve with us. It was such a spike, crazy fast spike in the evolutionary chain. So, anyway, so now you have the same concept. You have these people who all trying to we're trying to live in these segments, like you're saying, but we're not actually evolved to do it. Because back in the day, the concept was that you lived your life, and a part of that life was doing something like
contributing to society,
picking berries, or 100%. But you weren't. It wasn't so compartmentalized that you had to completely give up one part of your life. And even the concept of having to work 5 days a week, the amount of hours you do to have 2 days off. Did you know that the 5-day week was invented by Henry Ford?
Yeah.
Yeah, Henry Ford's not that damn old, and yet, so you're telling me that we're not meant for this, dude. We're not built for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
it's actually insane that it's not natural. It's not human. It's not in our nature to survive it.
How does it get so ingrained into everyday life then? Here's the thing is I think going back to work was so exhausting because for the longest time I got to live life the way that I wanted to, and I felt really happy and fulfilled, and I'm that's what I wanted my everyday to look like. And the contrast between that and what reality looks like now, things are going back to a new type of normal. Yeah. It's exhausting. It makes me so desperate. It makes me so desperate that I'm trying to get famous on YouTube so that I can do anything else.
Yeah.
You know, that's how desperate how desperately I want anything other than current reality.
You should read *Sapiens*, because the concept you're talking about now, the idea was to create more free time. Right. So the concept behind let's say foraging and spending more time working hard so you have extra money or extra this or extra that.
Yeah.
The concept behind it was literally people who were trying to plant extra fields of corn and extra things, so they don't have to worry about it tomorrow, so they can have a little bit of free time, extra free time tomorrow. And in the process, they were doing literally the opposite. This whole, you know what I mean? How insane is that? Like, because you would actually spend hundreds of thousands of hours working yourself to death at the thought of having a calm 20, calm 5 to 10 years free.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? To live at the age of 65 and not needing to worry. You've literally just spent all that time up to 65
grinding.
So like the concept is, it's completely flipped on its head, and that's why I love those hippie people that literally just live in that live on the fields and they do whatever
Dude,
they
me
want.
too. I'm jealous.
It's actually such a pure way of living.
I wish I was brave enough to do that. I'm not that brave.
This hive boasts top-tier security, which is not surprising given its
I
main
enjoy the
purpose.
luxuries of normal life still.
Me too.
You know what I mean? Like, I love the concept. I love the fact that I could have pre-ordered a PS5. It's awesome. So shitty that most people couldn't afford one. Oh, 100%. It's kind of crazy as well. Like, we were I was telling you about the documentary I watched, The Social Dilemma.
Oh, dude, tell me about it. Yeah, what'd you think? I watched the first.
It's insane.
I watched the first episode and then I got real sad and turned it off.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about the first half an hour of it, because it's like a movie.
Yeah.
So this whole I got really it's quite scary concept of it.
Yeah.
But so one of the big things that the guy talks about, he says that the biggest, what do you call it, market in the world isn't actually for a product anymore, it's for attention. And that's the concept of social media as a whole. It's monetizing people's attention. Like, what can we do to keep someone's attention for just a little bit longer? And then that's what they do. You know what I mean? And it's genius, but we have become the product. So we don't buy anymore. We are being sold to companies. Yeah. Which is insane.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
And, yeah. And so what they want to do is they want to tax the information that social media companies are able to collect. Does that make sense? Because social media companies just collect data after data after day, daily, day in, day out, and they can essentially then go
and give that to anyone.
Well, what they do is they sell, but they don't just sell, and we think it looks different. What they do is they compile you as a human being. They compile a character. So what they do is they essentially sell to companies, not necessarily your information, but exactly what will sell, and your interests, your views, your perspectives, and they use that to, in the same breath, they use that to not guide, but to feed you information online. So they say you actually can't be mad at someone for having the views that they have, because everything they see reinforces their perspectives on the daily basis, because that's 100%. What those companies do. So and remember how we were talking about how
these enemies must be defeated.
Our beliefs are not our own. Our inner subjective ideologies, they don't belong to us. We don't even know where they came from, but they don't exist. You know what I mean? These are things that belong to someone else. This is their perspective, and we just sold them for many years. Now that whole concept is a concept that was what's his name? Heidegger. Martin Heidegger, the German philosopher. He's the person who came up with that. Talking about the design, the human soul, essentially. What are they about? Their fallenness, facticity, and their existentialism. Anyway, now he's talking about how